Thank you. So I feel really honored to be invited here today. So thank you, Eileen, and thank you for this beautiful experience here in the club. This is my third time here, and the energy is beautiful. So thank you, everyone, because you are the ones who create that energy. So thank you for being here, for coming, and for being interested in topics like people doesn't want to talk about. You know, the topic of death is something that our civilization is like, don't talk about it, don't talk about it. And what is interesting that in ancient civilizations was something normal. You know, it wasn't something like we have to hide. Oh no, we don't talk about that. Maybe we don't tell everyone what happened, that someone died. I travel since I was young all over the world. And something that for me was fantastic to go to India and seeing, I was young, I was in my 20s when I went to India, and seeing that death was celebrated. That was not something to be there mourning and crying. That was something to be celebrated. It's like, well, finally, finally this person is free from suffering. And also the suffering situation topic that we have in this planet Earth, because as Buddha said, life is suffering. So in the moment that we incarnate, in the moment that we are born, what we do first? We cry. They say, oh my God, you know, what am I doing here? And we start crying. So, and then I guess we keep crying until we die, you know. It's always something in this planet. So it's very interesting how ancient civilizations understood this topic, and it's in a really deep level. This image of ancient civilizations, for me, was fantastic. And this is the great technology that we have today, that I can tell, hey, do an image about ancient civilizations, and whoa, you know, and I told exactly what ancient civilizations I wanted, and I love that image, really. So thousands of years ago, every time in all the civilizations that we have consciousness, we ask what happened when we die, what happened in the afterlife. And that's the base of the philosophy of all these ancient civilizations. And I want this to be explored with you. We're going to explore together this. You don't have to believe anything. It's just information. If something resonates with you, you say, okay, it's resonating with me. But if it's not, don't judge it. Just take it as, you know, information. It's not something that you need to believe or nothing, right? I'm just sharing information. But first, I want to share a little bit information about me. Well, my name is Emy Shanti. And who was here when I was invited to this beautiful panel of life after near-death experiences? Raise your hand. Who was here? I was here. You know? And that was fantastic. We had a lot of fun, right? That was fantastic, and was fantastic also because we were like 4 people talking about the same thing in a different level with different perspectives. So the only perspective I know is my own perspective, and as I think Mary said, it's true, when I have this near-death experience, my life changed. I mean, I have to say that was the best thing that happened in my life when I die. You know, it was the best thing that happened, because actually, even if I was into mysticism since I was really young, because I will say consciously, I was 13 when I started searching. I want to understand what life was about. I thought that this material world cannot be all it is, It has to be something more, because actually life was really boring, and it has to be something more that was interesting. And I started searching. And in that moment, we didn't have internet and, Google and chat GPT. We didn't have nothing of that. So what we have at that time to search for information? Books, right? It's the only thing we had is books. So I was going to the libraries looking for metaphysical books and spiritual teachers' books since I was 13. And there was a place I was always going. There was an Indian store that they have incense, and they have this beautiful clothing that I love to wear and all of that. Even my mother didn't like it much, but I love it. So I was going there, and I was fascinated. And I see there was a sign in the wall, because there was not internet at that point. Through Signs in the World, we were in the walls, we were knowing what happened. So I saw there was an organization from India called Ananda Marga. I don't know if someone knows that organization. It had more than 100 years. That they give yoga classes and meditation. And I thought, oh, well, I don't know what it is, but sounds interesting. And I started going there. And so I was trained with the Vedanta teachings, with the teachings of the Upanishads, the great sages, the rishis, they call the great wise ones from India, that they were teaching amazing information about who we are, where we're going, and what happened with the soul, and what happened when we die. That was fantastic. So I thought that was fantastic. So the monks, they saw a little 13-year-old that was there in all the meetings with a lot of, what was this word when you do it over and over again? Discipline. There you go. There you go. Discipline. Well, I was so disciplined at that point, And so I was really a little girl. So I was there doing this 5 o'clock in the morning, waking up for meditation and going there and doing all the practices. And they were fascinated with me. So they took me to India, and with my mother, and so I went to all these really classes with all the spiritual teachers. I was fascinated, but I think that when you're 13, your brain is not really ready to comprehend many things. So there were many things that were not so clear in my mind. And also, I had psychic abilities since I was really young. I think I shared this in the talk. And I was dreaming what is going to happen during the day. I was dreaming the whole thing. So I was waking up and saying to my mother, oh, today all of this is going to happen. And my mother, oh, yeah, haha. And then happened. And that was over and over again. I have these dreams where everything happened, what I dream. So what happened? My mother started freaking out. So she took me to church to ask for forgiveness. So I didn't know why, actually. Why? What am I doing here? Because the feeling is that I was doing something wrong, and I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. I was basically sharing my dreams, but she couldn't understand, and she worked so hard until she died. She wanted me to be a normal person. She failed in every level, So, and right now that I am in my 60s, I think about my mother. She died when I was 22. So I think about my mother, and I was saying, "Oh my God, she really failed," because she wanted me to be like a normal human being. I studied psychology, and I did everything, and finally I finished in India, kind of hippie, and meditating and hanging out with mystics. Really, my whole life with mystics. So. Well, I wanna share a little bit my near-death experience, because even if many hear the near-death experience, it's very important for you to understand from where I'm coming from. I had an accident when I was 17, and basically, I think I was dead for maybe there was a couple of minutes, but for me, it was a whole experience, because in the spiritual world, we don't perceive time in the same way that we perceive it here. So for me, it was a long experience, and maybe it was less than a minute, but it was like an amazing experience. So yes, I felt that I was waking up from a dream. That's the first sensation that I had. Whoa, I have dream about a life that, well, whatever. I don't care. Just the light that was there, that was so beautiful and that was so fantastic. And I was like, that's the only thing I want. I want to go to the light. The interesting thing in my experience, someone was with me. And I don't know who it was, maybe an angel, I don't know, some ancestor, I don't know. But it was telling me, or guiding me in the transition to really reach this light. That was a very long experience, but it was beautiful. So I understood that the essence of existence is light and love and truth and life. And that's kind of similar what Jesus said, right? But I didn't have my upbringing was in religions. Thanks God, my mother never, only that time took me to church, but she wanted me to be normal. But, I didn't have like the Bible, like my mother always said, God is not in the church, So, I said, okay. So I learned how to respect every belief, every religion, but I didn't have like brainwash of any level. So, but when I saw that light, I understood. I understood everything that I was searching for, everything that I was looking for, that was revealed. And my life started there. That was for me, this is it. Now I understand. And also, I understood that when I was there, I didn't want to come back. It was so beautiful that I didn't want to come back. So they told me, you have to go back. And I was like, I don't think so. I said, yeah, you have to go back. You have something to do here. And see, later, I said, now, I said, okay, I come back soon. Because life is like that. Ping, and it's gone. So I come back soon. Don't worry. I go, but I come back. So that feeling of the hope of coming back to that is what keep me happy and keep me alive. And life can be tough sometimes, but when you know there is something wonderful waiting for you, it's like, okay, life is like that. You accept it. You accept what is instead of fighting with reality. So it changed my life, really. So that's why I wanted to share a little bit this experience, because for me, this experience is not something that is my experience. It's something that many people experience something similar, and maybe they forgot. But I think deep down, everybody has that experience, and we all know something that is not intellectual, but we have a knowing, a sense that is something bigger than us. So I want to move forward with this presentation because this is not about my experience, this is about our experience and the experience of ancient civilizations. But to understand ancient civilizations, we're going to understand how old is our planet. Somebody know? How old is our planet? 6 billion, it's a lot. Somebody knows how old is our planet? Can you imagine? That's a long time, a long time. Can you imagine all the civilizations that came and go in 4 billion or 5 billion years, or like he said, 6 billion years, because actually they don't know exactly, maybe 1 or 2 billions, more or less, you know. It's something unbelievable, this to understand for human mind. What? 5 billion years is our planet, and our planet is rotating, right? It's rotating around the sun with other planets. There we are, this little blue dot there. And can you imagine, there is United States, look there in California, and Wood Hill. Really is unbelievable to understand this, that we are with a solar system rotating in the universe somewhere. This is only one solar system. Can you imagine that they are between 100 and 400 billions solar systems in our galaxy? We're talking only the Milky Way. We're talking only the galaxy that we know, our galaxy. And you know how many galaxies are out there? With so many billions of solar systems? Whoa, it's like, it's unbelievable. So if we have so many solar systems in our galaxy, obviously they didn't explore each one to see if it's life or not. Do you think that we're the only ones here in the whole galaxy? It's kind of ridiculous, no? Oh yeah, we're the only ones. You know? It's like impossible that we're the only ones. So, and all these solar systems, they are rotating around the central sun of the galaxy, they call. And that's what, for me, is amazing, because the Mayans, these ancient civilizations, the Mayans knew that, and they based their calendars knowing the sun or the moon, that also, but not only with that, they based the calendars in the movement of the galaxy. Isn't it amazing? The Mayans. So you think that the Mayans were like a group of Indians that they didn't know what they were saying or they were doing? From where they came from? From where are the Mayans? It is something amazing, and creating these unbelievable pyramids completely aligned with the movements of the stars. How they did that? It's something that we don't know. We don't have the answers. It's so fantastic. It's such a mystery that we don't know the answers. And also, for me, I love the Mayans. And the Mayans also, they don't see time like past, present, and future. They see time as cycles. And if we see life, we have cycles. You know, right now we're in spring, we're gonna be in summer, then we fall again, and winter, and then again the spring, and cycles and cycles and cycles of existence. So they were seeing existence and time as cycles. They never saw it like a straight line of past, present, and future, as our mind right now is trained to see time as past, present, and future. And we believe that that's completely real because we have pictures, you know? So we say, hey, this is me when I was little. So what if ancient civilizations held knowledge we no longer have? Knowledge that has been lost or forgotten. From where they are, these civilizations? What about Egypt? Egypt somehow show up like a whole civilization. They have everything. They know how to run a government. They know, well, about architecture like no one else. No one understands how they build that pyramids. They have theories, but nobody knows. Nobody understands. And even they say, with all the knowledge we have today, we couldn't build the pyramids. With all the machinery we have today, we couldn't pick up 100 or 200 tons rocks to put there in the pyramids. How they did that? How they did that? Machu Picchu, another mystery. What happened? It is Machu Picchu something from the Incas, or is something pre-Inca? In all these billions of years of civilizations, our Earth transformed, changed, right? We find in the Andes, we find shells, seashells. We find in the Sahara Desert, seashells that were underwater. So it's obvious that the continents went up, the other ones went down, they modify everything. So maybe these cultures are much more ancient than they are telling us. Because when we ask how old is civilization, they're gonna say, oh, 6,000 to 7,000 years. In 5 billion, in 5 billions of having a planet, how is possible that only 5,000 years, 6,000 years of civilization? It's impossible. It's really impossible. So, as I say, this is my personal ideas. I do believe that many of the civilization has much more thousands of years that they are telling us. And they have a knowledge of the stars and the universe that we lost. It's forgotten. So this is interesting because when we study ancient civilizations, we're going to see, well, Incas there, Mayans there. We see the Hopis, that they have a great knowledge there. Egyptians, the Chinese civilizations, the Babylonians, the Indians. And they were really separate from long distances, and they didn't have airplanes at that point to really connect with each other. I don't think they have cell phones that we know. So how they have similar beliefs about this? They have really a lot of common points. How that happened? You know, because you're gonna say, well, yeah, they all believe something different, but there are different points that they have in common that is amazing. They have common views about life after death. So what they are, that common views? Somebody know what can be? What common views they have? Ding, ding, ding. Okay, something that repeats in every ancient civilization, that death is not the end. Life doesn't finish there. It's something continue there in us. So there was a continuity of consciousness, something continued, nothing ends there. Also, they all have in common that they are other planes of existence. This is not it. There are other dimensions. They all have that in common. If you believe or not, that depends on you. I do believe, you know, that they are other dimensions and they are other beings in other dimensions. Connections with the invisible realm was natural. That wasn't a weird thing, you know, oh, look, she's a psychic. Not everybody were psychics. In fact, they have mystery schools that train the mind to have that psychic abilities. That was something normal. For us can be, oh, how you know that? But all the information is there. It's like the information is there. You just have to train your eye to see. But the information is there. Another point that I think that is very important, preparing for death was important. So every ancient civilization, they have practices to prepare for the death. And I always say the spiritual path is a preparation for death. Because, in the eternity, we are here for how long? 100 years? Maybe, I don't know, less. It's nothing. Really, it's nothing. It's like, okay, it's gone. I cannot believe that I'm at 60s. I'm sure for you it happened the same. I cannot believe that I'm the age I have. What happened? And because, it's too fast. It's like, whoa, what happened? It's like life passing through you. Whoa. And you look at the mirror and say, hey, something changed here. And also there was a common thing is that there was a great spirit, a divine presence. Every ancient civilization honored something that was much bigger than them. They call it Wakantanka, that means a great mystery. They call it, Allah, Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl. They call it Ka, Ra. They have all kind of names for that, Brahma. But basically it's the same thing. It's this great spirit that is always there. So this is something that every civilization has in common. They have the physical body. The physical body is easy to understand, right? Look at the mirror, you feel pain, here's me, the physical body. The soul and the spirit, and some people get mixed up. What is the soul? What is the spirit? What is... But I'm going to share what ancient civilizations said about the soul and what said about the spirit. The soul is who you are. It's the same that you were like a little kid and say, me, and you're 100 years old and you say, me. And in general, when we say me, where we touch? It's weird that you say me, or me, it's basically, we're going to say me. It's like intuitively, we know where the soul is. This is something that is beyond the mind, that we say, okay, this is me. I'm going to present myself. And you are unique. It's no one like you. Is no one like you in the whole 6 billion of years of the planet. Is no one like you. You are unique. So that is the individual soul. That is no one like you. And then is spirit. The spirit doesn't have a blueprint. The soul has a blueprint, but the spirit contains all the blueprints of the universe. So the soul will be like this great umbrella that holds everything, that holds life, that they call it the chi, the prana, the vital energy, everything it is. And we're breathing that, keep us alive. When Jesus said, I am the life, that's what he said. I am spirit. I am that spirit. Inhale, we say it in English. Inspiro is in Spanish. Somebody speak Spanish here? Hi. In spirit, inspiro, in spirit. So we know that the breath, they come from spirit. If spirit is not there, what happened with the body? It's not, it's gone. It's gone. So this is very important because Uh, the Spirit breathes on us. The Spirit makes our heart that pumps. We don't do it. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna pump my heart, you know. We don't do it. It's something doing it for us. It's something breathing through us. We don't do it. I mean, we can breathe consciously, but we cannot be breathing consciously all the time. It will be impossible. So it's something breathing through us. So that's life and that's spirit. And the soul, we're going to say that is this divine blueprint that belongs only to you. So I want to guide a little meditation to understand what the soul is. What do you think? So we're going to inhale deeply, exhale. Close your eyes gently. To bring your eyes within. There's nothing to do in this moment, just to be present, to relax, to be here, now. There's nothing to reach. Just sit there and notice that you are here. Breathe your presence. This is who you are. You are this unique soul, individual soul. Take a slow breath. And exhale. Again, we inhale. And exhale and let it go. Relax. Now bring your attention just to something very simple, that you're here. Be aware of yourself, of your presence. In ancient traditions, the bells remind us the presence of the soul within us. You can hear the sounds, you can feel your body, you can notice your breath, but beyond all of that, there is something that is aware of this. There's something in you that is aware, the observer who is observing your presence, that you are there. Just don't try to understand it. This is not an intellectual or a mental thing. It's just notice it. There is a quiet presence here. A quiet presence that has been with you your entire life. It was there when you were a child. It was there in every experience you ever had. And it's there now. It's here now. The thoughts come and go. Sensations comes and goes. The emotions comes and goes. But it's an awareness within yourself that remains. And rest your attention there, in that awareness. There's nothing to do. It's just feeling yourself, feeling your awareness. It's simple, just the sense of I am here. I am here. I am. And the I am is not your name, it's not your story, it's not your past, it's that presence. It's just simple feeling, the feeling of being. If thoughts appear, it's normal, it's okay. Just observe your thoughts and gentle come back into that quiet sense of presence. It's a place that we can rest. It's a place within our hearts. It's a quiet place. It's a place that is always there. That is the place where you can rest. Maybe the world can be chaos, but within yourself is the place where you are. There's no one else, just you. Take a moment to bring your hands into your heart and feel that presence of life within yourself, that spirit that is like a drum that is playing for the whole universe. That's you. That's your presence. That's your soul that was always there with you. That's your soul that can see you beyond your states of mind, your emotions, your confusion, your sadness, your pain. It's just observing that. Your thoughts, everything that changes, that comes and goes. Connect with that source of life that is within you. And sometimes if we feel sad, remember that is because your thoughts. And breathe deeply into your heart and remember that you're not your thoughts. Thoughts change. One day we're happy, the other day we're sad, and everything shifted and changes, but you never change. And now slowly bring your attention back to your breath, to your body. And when you are ready, open your eyes. If you feel like stretching, you can stretch. Did you sense that presence that is within you? And when you are connected with your breath, you don't have any thought. You cannot breathe consciously and have thoughts at the same time. So every time, every day that we feel anxious or stressed or we cannot sleep at night because the thoughts are crazy, even last night with the full moon, it was like, ah! So just come back into your breath. Breathe deeply, consciously, come back into your presence. And remember that this also shall pass. This is not forever. How are you feeling? Good, 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 good. Well, we're gonna keep moving because this is so much information. I tell you that is we don't have a lot of time, but we're gonna understand what happened in Egypt. I love Egypt. I went to Egypt like 20 times, and I keep going. I keep going back because Egypt is like another layer of information. It's always something new that is revealed. So I keep going because it's fantastic. And also I take people to Egypt. The one who want to do this journey with us is going to be in November. We go in November because it's the best weather as possible. So ancient Egypt, what is fascinating that the whole culture is centered around life after death. It's like everything is created for the afterlife. It's unbelievable. So even the temples, the pyramids, and I don't know if you went to Egypt. Somebody went to Egypt here? Raise your hand. Oh, yay. Did you go to the Valley of the Kings? Remember the Valley of the Kings? That is a place where they buried the great pharaohs, the great kings. Well, if you go there, it's like mansions. It's like mansions. It's huge, huge places to bury someone, you know. And they have carved from the top to the bottom with mystical symbolism and symbols about life after life. That is amazing. It's not even an inch that doesn't have information. Everything has information. It's unbelievable. If you didn't go there at least once in your life, you had to go because it's something amazing. You're not going to see this anywhere. And it's so much information. It's so much to learn there. That's why I went like 20 times and I keep going because it's so much to learn. So we're gonna understand what the Egyptians knew. The way they see life is, we have a ka, you know the word ka, or did you heard that? There was a show in Las Vegas called Ka. Remember the Circus du Soleil? They come from here. The Ka is this life force, this chi, this source, we're gonna say. They have so many names that we don't know how to explain or express what that means because it's much bigger than the words can say. Then they have the Ba. The Ba is this individual soul that we were sensing or feeling within ourselves. And they have the Ak. The Ak is the enlightened soul. So is where the Ba wants to reach. Ba wants to reach the Ak. So they want to reach enlightenment. They want to reach a higher level of consciousness. So something is interesting because La in Egypt means body. So if you see Kabbalah, right, the Kabbalah, they come from the ancient Egypt. Remember the Jewish, I think that they are the guardians of that knowledge that was lost. And what the Kabbalah means spirit incarnated in the physical form. La is the body. So the spirit connected with the Ba, let's say Ba. That individual soul and spirit, they are connected. Remember, this is the big umbrella that holds everything. So, and the La is the physical form. So basically is how to incarnate the qualities of spirit in the body. That's the Kabbalah about. And this is something similar but different. It's not La, it's Ak. And Ak is the enlightened soul that they say that the Ba is constantly reaching or trying to reach the state of consciousness. So do you see that it's similar to Ankh? Remember the Ankh? I have one, I have mine. The Ankh, this is very important, this symbol in the Egyptian culture, and this is the way to reach enlightenment. They say that this is the key of life. This is the key of the eternal life. So it's a way to reach enlightenment. So every initiated that they study many years in the ancient sacred schools, they say that to start studying in an order, you have to do first 7 years of the right eye of Horus and 7 years of the left eye of Horus. When you understood the right and the left that is connected with the hemispheres of the brain, then you can start learning. Can you imagine right now people that some classes online and they believe that they're spiritual teachers, and these people, they have to study 14 years just to get in the school, just to start learning. It is amazing. And to reach the secrets of enlightenment. So you're gonna see every initiated, they have an ankh. And the ankhs varies of sizes. They have little ones, bigger ones, depends the level of consciousness they reach. So they believe that when a person dies, the body passes through different stages. So the person dies, and then the soul, somebody showed me here an amazing picture of someone who was dying. You would show me, right? Who was you or you? And you can see like the soul coming out of the body. It was fantastic. Also, when they put in a scale a body that is dying, when they lose weight. Seems like the soul has also weight. It's fantastic, really. It's unbelievable. So this is what gets interesting. So what happened when we die? That's what the ancient Egyptians said. You pass through a judgment. And so suppose that the body died, so they come, one of the goddess, and they pick up the soul, can be Anubis too. They grab the person and they bring it in front of Mat. Mat was the goddess of justice, of balance, of harmony. So the whole world is in harmony and balance because of Mat. And she has a feather. You also can see the feather in the head of Mat. Do you see it? So with that feather, what they do, they put your heart in one side of the scale and the feather in the other side. And what happens if your heart is more heavy than the feather? Well, that's a whole story. But what happens if the heart is light as a feather? So what happens is they take you, you see there is Thoth taking notes, that he was this scriba of the gods, taking notes of your life to see what you did, your actions, how you live your life. If your heart is so heavy with a lot of pain, with a lot of karma, with a lot of confusion, with anger towards others and all the craziness of the mind, so your heart is going to be very heavy. And can you imagine, it's not going to be lighter as a feather. So, but if you live a life of virtue and you were a good person trying to do the best for others and forgiving others and letting go the pain, so you are coming here in front of Osiris. See, Osiris is there. And Osiris is like the god of transformation, like Shiva in the India tradition. Osiris is very similar of Shiva. So he lets you pass into a higher realm. So they never talk about reincarnation, really. They talk and they didn't talk about heaven, and they didn't talk about hell. You're not gonna see nothing related with heaven and hell. So when the soul comes into this place, with the invisible realm, they call it Duat, to the invisible realm. So they come to the Duat and they pass for the judgment of the heart. That's a really difficult situation. Even many people who has near-death experiences, they told us that they felt that they were judged. Many, they have a judgment there. So Egyptians say that we do. So the thing is that if your heart is too heavy, you get eaten by that animal that is there. That animal eats you. So what happened? You basically disappear. You don't go to hell. You disappear. You're not there anymore. You're gone. Sorry, you're gone. You don't have a chance. So that's why it was so important that during your life you live a life of virtue, that during your life you study and you prepare yourself for the death. Because it's going to be a moment that you're going to be judged, and depends of your actions, you're going to be going to another dimension, a higher realm, or the celestial planets we're going to go, or you're going to be eaten by that guy there. And what happened after that? You're gone. And why you're gone? Because the Egyptians has this belief that only the good is real. Only the light is real. Only what is love and truth and light and all the beautiful qualities is real. And the rest is not real. And what the bad energy comes to help us grow. They challenge us to make us grow, but they really don't exist. It's like dark souls that they're gonna to the recycle bin, So they don't have the chance to go to higher dimensions. That they're gone. For the ego, it's like, what? Where I'm going? Well, you're gone, But it's very interesting. It's so much information about this, but we're going to move forward because we don't have a lot of time. So we're going to talk about India. That's another one of my beautiful traditions. Since I was little, I was into. So they say that this tradition has over 7,000 years of wisdom. So what they told me no long time ago, that they find in some caves some books of knowledge that they have like more than 10,000 years, and they still have the symbol of the Om. So they go back and back and back, and they keep finding the Om, the symbol of the Om. Is there or no? No. But it's more or less 7,000 years of wisdom. It fascinated this Indian culture. So in India is taking you within. In India, the focus is self-exploration, and they do it through the meditation, breath work, yoga, mantra, energy work, and self-inquiry. I said all the holistic practices that we have today come from India, everything. Everything that we know, all the therapies, they have the root in India. So everything was going within, find yourself, So long time ago, there exist these wise men, the rishis, and they wrote some books of knowledge that we don't know if they were channeling information. We do believe that they were channeling information. They wrote the Upanishads, that there are many, many books of knowledge. And they have a lot of questions, kind of self-inquiry. Who am I? Who am I? Did you ask yourself, who am I? And what they say that I am what never changes. Who I am is something that never changes. And it's interesting because in life everything changes, or no? I mean, the body changes. So I am the body? For the Indians, no, I'm not the body. The mind, I am the mind. The thoughts, no, because today I'm thinking in a certain way, but 20 years ago I was thinking in another way. So obviously I'm not the mind. I am the emotions. That the emotions change more than nothing, No, because one day I'm happy, the other day I'm sad, the other day I want to fly, the other day I want to die, So it's like, that's not me. So who am I? And the other thing is the question of the soul. What is the soul? And the biggest question, what happened when we die? What happened when we die? This is very important in the Indian tradition because everything was around of what happened when we die. So in the Indian philosophy, here, all the books, the Upanishads, they talk about the Atman. The Atman is the individual soul, the Ba. We'll see, the Ba. And the Brahma was the Ka, the absolute, the source of everything. So what they say, the Atman is eternal, evolving through cycles of reincarnation. If the only thing is real is what doesn't change, that means there is a continuity. So that means that our soul is eternal. You know, they get to that conclusion. You don't have to believe it or not, but it's something that never changes and go through different reincarnations to learn, because what they said is not possible that in only one life we're going to learn so much. You know, it kind of makes sense, right? Is it, how is possible that I was really a young girl, so interested in metaphysics when no one teach me anything? And even my mother was against that. So, you know, from where they came that wisdom, of that need to reach something higher than me. So I do believe in reincarnation, actually, but, you know, it's okay if you don't, because it doesn't matter, really. The important thing is understanding what the Indian philosophy say, that Atman is eternal, evolving through cycles of reincarnation. So, and this is taking us into the wheel of samsara. Why we reincarnate over and over and again. And this is a little terrible. This is a little terrible what happened. Because it's what they say, that we are in a wheel. We're in a wheel of suffering. And through our lives, through our actions, because karma means action, karma is not something bad. Here we say, oh yeah, the karma. He has a karma. And karma doesn't mean something bad. Karma means action. So depends your actions, you're gonna have a better life or a worse life. And in the wheel of samsara, the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. And what they say, this come actually from the Tibetan Buddhism, but you know, Buddha was a Hindu. Buddha was born in Nepal, and he was Hindu. So they use the same concept of samsara. And what they say that they have 6 realms of reincarnation, and through our lives, we also change the realms. We can born in the realms of the gods, so we have everything there. You know, we don't need anything. We are feeling so good in the realms of the gods. We're going to say a person who was born in the realm of the gods can be a movie star who has everything in life, and they have all the money they want, and you think that they have a wonderful life, but they really have a wonderful life, right? And that's why they are in the wheel of samsara, because we are never satisfied there. We are never satisfied. We always want something different, something more. We are completely changing all the time. Is the realm of the asuras, of the demigods. The asuras, they are like gods, and they have everything. They have all the money in the world. They have all the power in the world, but they love to create conflicts and do wars. I think I think we have a great example of an asura, you know, because they were born in this realm of the gods. They have everything since they were born. You know, they were kind of rich and famous and everything. They have everything, but they love conflict, and they are constantly fighting with the gods. And what happens when you get in a lot of fights, finally you're gonna finish in hell. You're gonna live in a life that is so much conflict that you live in hell. Then they have another realm of the hungry ghost, the pretas, that the hungry ghost, The hungry ghosts, they're always hungry. They always want more. They want more. They're never satisfied. I want more. Doesn't matter. They have everything, but they want more. And they say that these are like ghosts because they don't even know what they want. And they say that they have a small mouth and they're always hungry, so they are never satisfied. They never can put all the food in their mouth because they have a little throat and they have a little stomach and they want more and they suffer a lot. So there are people who live within this realm that is never enough. Even if they have everything, they're gonna complain. And they're gonna keep complaining. They're the realms of the complainers. And then the realm of the animals, we're not talking about these animals. Actually, they're much more evolved than many people, you know. But this realm of the animals is the realms of the needs. It's the realm that, okay, if I am hungry, I go and I take it, you know, and it's not compassion there. It's not compassion. It's like drive through my needs, and I'm gonna do whatever I want, depends on my need, and I don't care really about others. Sometimes I heard, I'm sure you have the same here, how the coyotes are eating some rabbit there or something, and the coyote is not thinking about the 3 little rabbits that the mother left, you know, and they're eating the mother of the rabbits. The coyote doesn't care about others. It's hungry and they go to eat. And that's what the animals does. And then the realm of the humans, in the Buddhist tradition, they say that it's the best realm because we have a lot of suffering, but we have a lot of joy also there. We have like a balance. In the realm of the gods, they're feeling so well that they're not searching for liberation. For what? They have it all. In general, in the hell realm, they're so desperate and so tired of being suffering that in general, they get enlightened because it's so much suffering that they are so desperate that finally they release their souls to the divine. They say enough. Many people, even in jail, they say that they have spiritual experiences because they're in so much pain that finally they give their souls to God and they have a sense of liberation. So in every realm, they can have liberation, but it's very hard when you are really suffering so much. It takes you a long more to get free. But in the realm of humans, that we are all in the realm of, most of us, we are in the realm of humans, is the realms that we can reach enlightenment. All the monks, they are in the realm of humans. And then the 3 poisons are in the center of the wheel of samsara. And the 3 poisons are ignorance, attachments, and aversion, that also is anger, right? So your anger make you reincarnate again and get again in the wheel of samsara. So to get rid of anger and resentment is one of the things that we have to do more than anything to prepare for that. The attachments, if you have a lot of attachments, you're gonna suffer. Attachment is leading to suffering, yes or yes, for whatever you are attached. I see many women that they are attached to their physical form, and time is click, tick, tick, is clicking, and they don't like it, and they suffer, and that's why they go to the doctor, and they do all the surgeries as possible, because they are attached to the physical form. They are attached to the youth, instead of accepting what is. So that creates a lot of suffering also. And ignorance, that's the beauty of the Hindu tradition, that they never talk about the devil or demons or nothing like that. The forces of darkness, they call it ignorance. So ignorance is not knowing. It's like when Jesus was in the cross, what he said, forgive them, they don't know what they are doing. So that means that they are ignorant because they don't know really what they are doing. So if you live your life from that place of ignorance, if you are not awake in life, you're going to keep reincarnating, and you're going to be into a lot of suffering. The path of liberation is something beautiful, And actually, that's what every monk, every human being, in some way or the other, we want to achieve. We want to get rid of suffering. We all want to liberate from suffering. So the path of the Buddha is related with that. And if you see the monster who is holding the wheel, do you see it? Oh. That's the Lord of death. That's the Lord that is telling us that we're going to die. Impermanence. The Lord of impermanence. Everything in life is impermanent. So, like it or no, all the different realms are also impermanent. Everything is impermanent. So sometimes we suffer so much. I remember when I was young, I have my first relationship. I was the honor of the world. And then right now we look at that and I say, whoa, it wasn't so bad, So when we really start being more aware of ourselves, of our life, that we are not at that emotions, we get more into this path of liberation, and we get more peace in our hearts. That's basically, everything is about that, to find that peace, in your heart. In all these realms, you're not going to be in peace. Somebody wants to rebirth and come back? No one. No, really, no one wants to come back. Yeah, one, yay. I want to come back too. Yeah. The beauty of this, in the tradition of Buddhism, they talk about the bodhisattvas. So you did the wheel of samsara, you suffer a lot, you got liberation, you're free now. So you don't have to come back. Only if you choose to come back. If you choose to come back, you come back as a bodhisattva to serve others. Because remember that the essence of life is love. And love and service go together. It's not love without service, and it's not service, real service, without love. So basically, a bodhisattva, somebody who obtained liberation, is going to come back to help others to get free of suffering. So another thing I find, actually, I went to Tibet the last year, and that was an amazing experience in Tibet. And we have in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, they talk about the Bardo Todol. The Bardo Todol is that invisible realm that you go in the moment of death. That they call the Duat in the Egyptian traditions. And this Bardo Todol describes in great detail what happened between one life and the next. Describe everything. It's fantastic, this book. If you really can understand it and read it, it's something fantastic. So the quality of the experience here, too, depends on the density of the heart, again. So you die, and if your heart is really heavy, your experience in the Bardo Todol is going to be difficult. But if your heart is light, you're going to find angels, and you're going to find a much more clear path. The Bardo Todol, really, it is an amazing place, really, that one day we're going to explore it. And I'm sure we did it already. So we're going to see a little bit, because we don't have a lot of time left, but we're going to see what happened in these traditions, that in Mayan tradition, Aztec tradition, the Toltecs, the Indians, what happened for them, for the dead? This tradition, death is not separate from life. That's very interesting. So what happened to them? They believed that all the ones who died before us, they didn't go anywhere. They are there. They are there waiting for us. You know, they have a deep connection with the ancestors, honoring and invoking them through rituals and offering. Even in Mexico, they still celebrating the Day of the Dead. And this is relating with that because they believe that the person who died still there, still here, still in the invisible realm, but still here, still in the mountains, still in the breeze, still in the plants, still here. And that's why in the Day of the Dead, they even prepare the food they used to love for them to come and eat in spirit that food. It is fantastic. So this is something that happened to many people when they go into the near-death experiences, that somehow they see the grandfather or they see the family or they see the ancestors waiting for them. So that's something really possible that this is happening. That instead of saying, okay, I'm dead, I'm gonna incarnate again, no, I'm gonna wait for my loved ones. And maybe they reincarnate together, maybe go to another round together, but you know, it's another beautiful way to see what happened when we go to the other side. So I do believe I had experiences of people, you know, that have this sense of the parents and the grandparents and the ancestors waiting in the other side for them, the loved ones waiting. So, and people who were married for many years, you know, people were married for 50 years and something like that. In general, when one died, the other one died very fast. Do you see that? Because they feel the calling. I have my father-in-law. The wife died before him. They were 99 years old, both. They were 98, 99, he was. And she died first, and he was telling me, I hear her every day. Every day, she's telling me things. She's waiting for me. She's waiting for me. And when we get into that age, we have very thin contact with the invisible realms. Even the children too, you know, it's like when we are very old and we were really young, we have this opening into the invisible. So I'm going to say my final thoughts about this, and then I want you to, if you have some questions. So final reflections. That's what I believe. Across ancient civilizations, death was never seen as an end. It was understood as a passage, a transition. So we are eternal souls. We don't die. Different cultures separate by time and distance, share the same knowing. Life does not end, and the way we live shapes the experience that follows. So how important to prepare for dying. Perhaps the Egyptians were right. If our heart is light as a feather, life becomes far more beautiful. In the end, preparing for death is how we learn to live. And that's what I believe. I believe that to be a better person every day, to be able to see our shadows, we all make mistakes in life. That's normal. But when I realize that I make a mistake and I regret, I say, oh man, what I have done, that is evolution. If you never regret, you know, you're going to incarnate many times in the wheel of samsara. But in the moment that you really regret, it says, oh, what I have done, and I try to do it better, and I try to do it better. And sometimes I cannot do it better with the person I make the mistake, but I can do it with others. So, and that make a big change in our lives. So the proposal is to make your heart light as a feather, forgiving others, and trying to heal relationships. Because relationships is the key. It's like a mirror showing you what's going on within yourself. You know, some people doesn't like to hear that, but to heal relationships is very important. Even if the person is not here anymore, you can contact him. You can write a letter, that is not for them, it's for you. To say, yeah, I want to heal this. I want to move forward. I make a mistake. I'm sorry. And in that way, we start liberating and getting rid of so much heaviness that we carry in our hearts. And sometimes that heaviness is not even our heaviness. We're carrying the heaviness of our mother, our family, our ancestors. It's time for liberation. It's time to really be free of suffering and to really live life, the time we have, in the best way as possible. So if you have some questions, I'm happy to take questions. Thank you.
It's so beautiful to hear you again. I marvel at every presentation I hear from you. I have a question regarding when you were talking about how life after being here on Earth depends on how we live our lives here. Mm-hmm. Is there any more detail that we have access to? I think I know in the Catholic Church they talk about purgatory, but it doesn't sound like those in the American Indian cultures, it doesn't sound like those people are waiting in purgatory. It just sounds like they're somewhere in a higher ether and they are waiting for their families to join them.
Right. So the question will be?
The question is, can you describe, or do you have any more knowledge about the details of where and how we can exist in different places after we pass here, depending on how we lived our lives here?
Right. Because we are energy. And even the physics say energy never were born and never is not destroyed, cannot be destroyed, only can change, transform. So basically we are energy, and vibrationally we're gonna be attracting the experience that we vibrate. So when we go to the afterlife, with a heavy heart, with a troubled mind, we're gonna see all kind of bad things and monsters and all of that. The Egyptians, they have it very clear. It's, well, okay, you pass or you don't pass, that's it. The Buddhists and the Hindus, they give you hope. Yeah, you did it really wrong, but you have the chance to do it again, and to repeat the same story and to heal the relationships. So what they say is the next life, you're gonna be with the same person. You have the conflict, you're gonna find it again, and then in the Indian traditions of the Incas, they don't consider bad people there. That's what they don't consider that people is bad. It's like everybody is in the realm, the Dwat, or in the realm of the invisible, kind of waiting there for the loved ones to join again. So basically, until we're not there, we don't really know. Only if you have a near-death experience, you're gonna know what's going on there. But I did have a near-death experience, and I didn't stay here, but I went directly to another realm. But what happened if you stay here? I don't know. That's interesting.
One of my best friends just lost her husband. Mm-hmm. They were married 60 years.
60 years, wow.
And their daughter died when she was 19. So my friend is saying, I hope that he got to see the daughter right away. But I told her I would ask you how you feel about that.
Yeah, I were in many experiences with these people communicate with the spirits of the dead. I was in many sessions, and actually I was blown away. It's like they call the spirit and they come and they tell them things. So it's very possible that it's there waiting. More if it's unresolved things. I think more liberated souls is the one who want to, well, I want to live. But the ones who are more attached to earth and family, they're going to stay. They don't want to go. I don't know if you're familiar with what is ayahuasca. So I was in an ayahuasca ceremony, and I was guiding it. And a very old person came, and I said, okay, we'll see. He wanted to do it, okay? He told me I need a healing. So I was sitting next to him, and there was two presence there, so strong, a woman and a man. And they were talking to me, and they were telling him that we're here for him, that we're waiting. I said, hey, someone here that looks, and I kind of describe them, they're saying that they're waiting for you. And he was like, what? That's my father and my mother. How you know that? How you know that? Oh, well, they're here. And, you know, that was amazing, actually. After I have that experience, I really believe that the ancestors are there waiting for you. You know, the loved ones can be also daughter or even grandsons, but they are there.
I'm very grateful for all the things that you shared today. Most of them were reminders for me, and I really thank you. But I want to share an experience that I had when my mom passed. She was already in the last minutes or hour of her life, and my spiritual master called me and said, "Why don't you play for your mom this song that she used to dance with your father?" My father was already gone, and so we pulled our iPod and play that song. And as soon as I play it, my mother opened her eyes. She elevated her body, and then she smiled, and then she passed.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah.
So to me, that was really my father greeting
Right.
her, and they went
together.
together. And I believe it to my heart. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that experience. Yeah, I had that was the husband of my cousin, and he, in the moment that he died, he was, oh, wow. He was like seeing something like, wow, and he had a smile, like beautiful, and he died like that. So it's something there that activates that we can see, you know, beautiful. Thank you.
I have just a quick piece of information and then a question. Piece of information is just for you to know that you could add to Bardo that that's also a Jewish belief, that we go to Bardo. I had never realized that that was part of the Book of the Dead title, so that was new for me, and I wanted to thank you for that. I wanted to ask you, which is kind of revealing for me, and I'm hoping other people in the room are similar, but for those of us who are not from here, who come from other places, I don't mean on this planet, but other places, would we have, as far as you know, in ancient tradition, similar kinds of death and reincarnation and experiences? Right. Have you had experiences with people who've come here from other places?
Other dimensions, other planes of existence?
Other galaxies, other planets, people who are not necessarily Earth connected.
Every day.
Can you
Every day.
And are they also experiencing the same cycles of birth and rebirth and reincarnation?
Something that happened to me that was unbelievable. I have an experience with Osiris and Horus and Isis. When I started going to Egypt, was because of that, because they presented to me, and they were there with me, and I could see them the same way I could see you, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, you're here, and this is real. And I say, yeah, we were always here. They were saying that. I said, oh my God, this is so fantastic. And since then, I started going to Egypt because this is the place where liberated souls, they are not in the wheel of samsara. So they can be as ascended masters, helping humanity in the evolutionary process. They can be bodhisattvas and incarnate here in these facilities to open doors and help people to remember who they really are. You know, I mean, there are different, but I do believe that we are not from here. We are all not from here because our soul is not from here. It's not from this planet. And I'm sure we all have in the 5 billion years of the planet. Well, can you imagine? We're talking about only one galaxy. If you put all the billions of galaxies and the infinite universes, all the dimensions they are, is unbelievable. So I don't know exactly, oh yeah, I come from here. I don't know. It's so vast, it's so multidimensional that I cannot point into one thing. So, but I do know that we're not from here.
Thank you so very much. Two things I'd like to bring up. Ruth Montgomery, years ago, back in the 70s, wrote a book, Strangers Among Us, walk-ins. Is that what you're referring to? And is there any validity to that? And the other thing I want to share is the night before my dad died, he said, oh, I had a dream. And I said, you know, tell me about it. He said, oh, another time. And I said, no, let's talk about it now. And he said, I was dreaming and I was sitting at this picnic table and his father, who he did not have a good relationship, was there. My mother, his wife, his mother, and, you know, many, many people that had already passed. He said, they're all sitting here at the table. And I said, they're waiting for you, Dad. And I said, you know, they're just getting ready for you. And I said, he says, but I'm here now. I said, yeah, but the next time you see them, you're not going to come back. So they're just letting you know that they're waiting for you. So is that something that he really is? Was that consciousness, unconsciousness, or a dream, or how? And he also said, "Oh, I'd really like some tomato soup." And I said, Dad, in the whole life I've known you, you never liked Campbell tomato soup. So where would that come from?
That's interesting. Kind of a near-death experience with the tomato soup. What I do believe, relating with the walk-ins, I do believe that spirituality can be a little tricky, more when you go into the realms of spirits. That's very important for me to be very grounded in your body, in your spirit, because what they said about walk-ins is like someone can get in your body. And I don't think, if you are in your body, no one can get in your body. That's why it's so important that you are present, that little meditation we did, that I am here, I am. Because if you're not in your body, someone can come and get in your body. And that happened many times. Many people even commit crimes and they say, hey, I don't know what happened. I don't remember. That wasn't me. That was amazing. And I say, whoa, and who was then? And that happened because they are not in their bodies. So the whole point of life here on earth, to prepare for death, is to be aware and conscious within your body, to be very grounded. Because if you start with the walk-ins and they told me and things like that, many of my old friends, the hippie ones, they are schizophrenics, you know. So I am like, okay, you know. Not long time ago, that we have a situation with David Wilcock. I don't know if you know about it. I do the expo for more than 20 years, so I met David Wilcock, and he was talking about all these crazy things, and he became schizophrenic with mental illness, and finally he committed suicide. So I don't know. We have to be very careful with that thing. So I believe that if you are grounded in your body, no one can get in. And also, I don't believe about negative forces getting in you, because you are the light. And when you remember that you are light, where the light is there, the darkness cannot be. It's impossible. So if you are really grounded in your light, you're protected. You don't need amulets. You don't need to do big rituals of asking for protections, because I'm the light. And where the light is there, darkness cannot come. It's impossible. But we're so much in our heads and in our, all the realms of suffering, the wheel of samsara. Here we're so much into the wheels of samsara that our energy go down and our light, they start to dim, they start to go down, out. So it's so important to keep ourselves happy and feeling good. And that's why I always insist with forgiveness and to, give rid of all the negative thoughts and judgments we have towards others. So it is really the path of love and truth and integrity and authenticity, the real path. And no one is going to walk for you. It's your life and it's your path. And doesn't matter who is next to you, you are alone with this. No one can do it for you. But it's you that you have to have that integrity within yourself. And that's what I love about the wheel of samsara and the ancient traditions, that they all go into the same place, to be a better human being on earth. They all go there, Don't do wrong to others. They all go to the same place, because that creates karma. And then you're gonna finish in the realm of the hungry ghosts, of the hell. How many people is living in hell right now? Many people. Many, many people. And also, many times we forget how lucky we are. And we complain about little things that are not important. And when we really realize many people have so much dukkha, they call so much suffering in this world. And well, we came to a realm that we can come on Saturday here to the club and relax and have fun. So how lucky we are. So we have to remember that. And we have to be happy for that possibility that our karma is giving us, that we can be much more relaxed than most of the people in this world, that they are having it really heavy. So, so a hug to myself. Thank you for bringing me here, because really we have to put in the balance there, right? And don't complain so much. Being grateful, exactly. Being grateful of what we have. Even if it's little or big, doesn't matter, but be grateful of your life, of everything that happened, even the bad things. Because thank you for all the challenges. I am who I am. So thank you for everything. And when you get into that place and it's real, because you can make it up and then it's not real, Yeah, no, I love everybody. And then I kick the dog, or somebody crossing the car. I mean, really, when we react toward things, who react? The reptilian brain. That's the reptilian part of us. So when we really are more aware of our reactions, our activity, and we say, maybe something is going to press our buttons, they are coming. Breathe deeply, accept what is, understand where is the person in consciousness also. Because maybe they're coming from ignorance and they insult you. And you say, oh, bless you, yay. Instead of reacting back and fight, because you're going to hurt yourself doing that. So we have to kind of change the paradigm of how we live our lives, and let go the heaviness of our heart and really go into having a our heart so light as a feather. So that's why we go to Egypt every time. They have the scarabs. Remember the Egyptian scarabs? And if you see in every tomb, they have the pharaohs with a big scarab in their heart. You see the Tutankhamun tomb, they have a big, huge golden scarab there. The scarab, what it does is to absorb the heaviness of the heart. So they put this scarab there so they know that they're gonna go to the afterlife with a much more lighter heart. So every time I go to Egypt, I bring a bunch of scarabs and I put it in my heart, knowing that that energy is gonna absorb all the heaviness of the heart. And so for the next life, the next transition, or next life or afterlife, is gonna be much easier for me. What we want is to be free of suffering. I think it's enough with suffering, don't you think? Enough with suffering. So, and if we stop suffering, we're gonna give permissions to others to do the same. So it's contagious, you know. But if we suffer, we're gonna give the other permissions to suffer. And it's contagious too. So it depends on how we live our life. It's the reality that we create around us.
Thank you for being here. You mentioned ayahuasca, and that's a very interesting topic for me because there's a lot of talk of psychedelics and spirituality. And I've seen it being described as psychedelics kind of thin the veil of human consciousness and this greater spirituality. Yeah. And I was just curious to know what your opinions are on psychedelics and whether that's true or not. Because I've heard a lot of people say they have really great experiences, they feel a lot of love and light, and then other people that have really negative experiences.
Right.
So I'm just curious.
It's the same mechanic of the afterlife. It's the same mechanic of if you have a heart that is light, you're gonna have a beautiful experience. If you have a heavy heart, you're gonna have a really hard experience. That's why it's healing ceremony, because it's a way to confront yourself, in the ayahuasca in particular, with what happened, deeply within you. And it's taking all the traumas, all the pain, and sometimes during an ayahuasca experience, even come pain that happened when you were little. If your father or your mother, they punish you a lot, the ayahuasca kind of bring that up, because even many years pass, that wound still within your heart. So what it does is to bring it to the surface for you to heal. So I do believe that it's not for everybody, but it really helps to take the veil of illusion from your eyes and see it more clearly. So next time, I'm gonna bring psychedelics. No. But for me, it is interesting because I think psychedelics is to do it maybe once or twice in your life until the veil is gone, and that's it. You don't need to keep doing it, And some people doesn't even need it. So the yogis in India, they don't even know what is. So I believe that is related with consciousness more than anything, like always, It's like alcohol. A person that is a good person drink alcohol and love everybody. And the person who is violent drinks alcohol and get more violent. So it's the same thing, the same concept.
Do you have a final word that you wanted to share?
I want to put some music to close. And I want to tell you, thank you for this opportunity. For me, it's really beautiful to be able to share this knowledge, these experiences. And, maybe you resonate more with one thing or the other, but it's something to remember. It's something to awake within us. And remember who you are. Remember that you are that light. And don't let the mind drive you crazy, because it's very easy that, But try to control your thoughts, your mind, to focus, to practice, to return into your center. And
and have fun.
Yes.